Hello everyone. Today I wanted to provide an example of how to calculate the mean, median, and mode through an example that I'm going to make up on the fly so you can go through it with me and pause along the way as more practice. Today it's going to be the mean, median, and mode. These are referred to as the measure's essential tendency. So with that, let's create an example here. So I'm going to make a quick little table, so you can make one with me if you'd like. We're going to have our variables at the top, and let's say we're going to look at residential burglary. So we have house, we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So with that, typically with residential burglary, we want to look at the amount that's stolen from the property itself. So let's look up here at the amount. And let's say for the first one, it was 1,500. The second one, 750. Third one's 2,000. Fourth one's 500. Fifth one is 250. Sixth one is 1250. Seventh one is, let's do 1300. And the eighth house, let's go with 800. So those are all dollar amounts through residential burglaries across 8 different houses. Typically also with residential burglary, we look at method of entry. So with that, we can say method of entry. This could be front door, window, back door, let's say window again, window, back door, window, and front door. So now that we have our data set, we have 2 different measures, and we know across 8 different households. So with that, if we have the mean, this is where we want to find the average amount taken from each household. So with that, we're going to add the 8 values together. So it's the sum of x over n, which would then equal, it's going to be 1,500 plus 750 plus 2,000 plus 500 plus 250 plus 1250. I'm going to scroll over a little, plus 1300 plus 18 or 800. And that's all over 8. Remember, if you look at it now, we have 8 houses, so that's our denominator. Then we have the values taken from each residential burglary at the top. So go ahead, take some time, add these together. I am going to do it on a calculator I have not on this screen. So I got 8,350. So that is the numerator, and we're going to divide that by 8. So our average then, our mean on the amount taken from each property is 1,043. And remember, from a scientific notation, we're going to use 2 decimal places and 75 cents. So here we see, on average, the amount taken from a property during a residential burglary was just over $1,000. That gives us a good piece of information to understand the amount taken. So with that, if we wanted to look at the same value here in, let's say, the median, so we want to look at the 50th percentile, or the mark of that. I'm just going to scroll down a little. We're going to keep that here. So we have 8 values. Keep in mind, since it is an even number, we're going to have to take the 2 middle values and take the average of those. The key part as well is also putting them from lowest to highest value. So with that, we have 250, So that one's done. And then we have 500. That one's done. And then we have 750. And then 800. And then what do we have? 1250. And 1300. And then 1500 and 2000. So with that, since we have 8 values, we're going to count in to find the 2 middle values, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these 2 here we want to add together and then divide by 2. So the 2 of those added together is 2050. We're going to divide by 2 to get the average of that, which equals 1025. So that's our median value. So that's our halfway point to say from the residential burglaries, 50% of the houses had more than $1,025 taken from it, and it could be cash, jewelry, anything from the house itself stolen from that property itself. And it would have 50% also as less than that. So that's our barrier there. So with that, the last one that we come to is the mode. If you look at the dollar figure taken from each property, the mode here is not going to really tell us too much given the type of variable that it is. So with this, the variable itself could be, there's the possibility of 0 and your house was just burgled with no actual value taken. But method of entry here, the mean and median, you can't do much with, but the mode does matter. So keep in mind the mode is the most frequent value. And for this one, we have 3 values. So we're going to do front door, back door, and the window. And here, you're just going to count each of those up. So we have 1, 2 front doors. For back door, we have 1, 2. And then for window, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here we see the mode of method of entry for a burglary residential is through a window, with front door and back door each having 2. The median value here is $1,025, and the mean, the average amount taken from each property itself or residence is just over $1,000 with $1,043.75. If this was difficult, time-consuming, or you're confused on where some of the numbers came from, go through, watch this video again. I'll post another one to give you more practice. Thanks, bye.